Hello everyone. So today we're gonna make a video summarizing module 4. So let's get started. So a package is a namespace that organizes a set of related classes and interfaces. Conceptually, you can think of packages as being similar to different folders on your computer. You might keep HTML pages in one folder, images in another, and scripts or applications in yet another. For example, software reading in the Java programming language can be composed of hundreds of thousands of individual classes. It makes sense to keep things organized by placing related classes and interfaces into packages. So, repository is a centralized place where data is stored and maintained in an organized way, typically in computer storage. A repo can serve different functions. It can be directly accessible to users without having to travel across a network, or it can be a place in which specific databases, files, or documents are stored for access or distribution. A repo can be the aggregation of the data itself into an accessible place of storage, or could be it could allow for selective extraction of data. So you can use YAML search that will show you packages along with repo it is present in. If you also add show duplicacy, you will see all versions of that package. So we want to demonstrate how to install and approve the repo in CentOS. Just log into the server as the root user, type yum and slash y at the command prompt to update the new server. Type in yum hyphen y install to install the EPL repository EPL release. Type command yum repo list to verify that the EPL repository has been added. Okay, so let's see how to demonstrate how to create a VHDS for CentOS. So we're gonna talk a little bit more. I think we're gonna make an additional video. Okay, excuse me, because we have to explain. We got a lot of thing to explain. So let's go jump to how to make a red one in CentOS. So I'm gonna show you, but let me explain you first. You have to select setting. So make sure you shut down your VM virtual machine. You select setting. You click add device. Select new hard disk. Click add. Click advanced options. Change to SATA. Uncheck the box. Double click disk size and change 5 gigabytes. Click apply and click show all. So repeat step 1 and close the window. So let's go demonstrate how to create VHDS for Windows. So we're gonna talk a bit. Yeah, let's just explain for today. Open start, search for disk management, Click the tab result to launch the experience. Click the action button. Click the create VHD option. Click the browse button and locate the folder you want to store the virtual disk. So we have to demonstrate how to change the Windows disk from basic to dynamic. So make sure you shut down your virtual machine. Okay, select settings, select new hard drive, click on add, click on advanced options, or change it to SATA, uncheck the box, double click disk size, change to 2.5 gigabytes, click on apply, click show all to see the result. Repeat step 1 and close the button. So we're gonna demonstrate how to create a new user in Windows 10 user and group. Go to control panel, administrative tools, computer management, navigate local or user and group or user under computer management. On the left panel, click on user. Right click on the middle panel and click on new user. So when the right click menu appears, the new user creation window will appear. Enter the user details like a username and password and click the create button. Close button to exit the new user creation window. So to create a group, so same process, go to computer management, navigate to local user and group user, and then click on groups, right click on the middle panel and click on new group. When the right click menu appears, the new group creation window will appear. Enter the group details and click the create button. A window will be clear once the group is being created successfully. Close button to exit the new group creation window. So we have to demonstrate how to change ownership, become a super user or assume an equivalent role. Change the owner of a file by using the shown command. Show new owner, file name, new owner, specifies the new user or UID of the new owner of the file or directory. Verify that the owner of the file has changed. So ls-l. So let's go. We have to demonstrate a VM running another variant of Linux. We got many things, but let's make it short. So restart and select a different operating system and grab a bootloader screen, and then boot can be problematic. This is especially true on systems where Linux is installed alongside Windows. Okay, on slower systems, you could be waiting 5 to 10 minutes before you can start being productive. With antivirus software, scanning at boot, you're soon on a massive go slow. So just to make it short, restart, select a different operating system and they grab a bootloader screen and then boot. That's the shortcut. So we're gonna do I think an additional video. We're gonna explain EOL stands for end of life. End of life, pronounced EOL, is commonly used in information technology to describe a product that is no longer maintained or supported. It may refer to either hardware or software. We have a feature of operating systems. We have a protected and supervisor mode, allows disk access and file systems, device, drivers, networking, security. You have program execution. You have memory management, virtual memory multitasking. You have handling I/O operations. We have manipulation of the file system. We have error detection and handling, resource allocation. So let's see vulnerabilities within an operating system or an application can result from program errors, whereby an error in the program code may allow a computer virus to access the device and take control. Intended feature legitimates documented ways in which applications are allowed to access the system. So I already told you you're gonna make an additional video to explain a little bit details. So thank you again for watching.